Are you the same Fernando Serrato who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 9930 for the offense of burglary of a habitation force on April 17, 2019 for a period of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Serrato, did you review violation number 13 with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
State is alleging that on or about the 11th day of February 2024 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Fernando Serrato did then and there operate a motor vehicle without a valid Texas driver's license in violation of condition number 13. How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State, is that the only allegation you're proceeding on?
Waive and abandon the remainder, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 13, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 13?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 13 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is not an agreement, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
Court supervision and adjudicate guilt assess punishment for 4 years. Finding.
We would respectfully request the minimum, Your Honor, 2 years. And if I may, Mr. Serrato is not a citizen. He has been previously deported. After conferring with Justin Tullius at our last setting on June 3rd, at length and in great detail regarding Mr. Serrato's situation, any possible defenses, et cetera. Mr. Tullius conferred with him, gave him certain bits of information and counseling advice. Mr. Serrato currently has a federal detainer on him from ICE. And so what we're requesting, Your Honor, is to revoke him and sentence him a minimum 2 years. That way he would get transferred over to the Federal Department of Justice sooner and onto, in essence, their responsibility.
All right. Probation, has he done anything since he's been on probation?
No, Your Honor. Probation is recommending revocation. He was placed on probation April 17th of 2019, and he was transferred to ICE custody, and he was transferred to Honduras September 6th of 2019. We informed the court via supplemental report that he was deported, and February 11th, 2024, he had the 2 additional cases, and we were unaware when he returned back to Bexar County.
All right. So correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is he was deported
Correct, Your Honor.
and he came back to the United States.
Correct, Your Honor.
And I'm assuming, if I'm wrong, correct me, that he came back illegally.
Correct, Your Honor.
And then he came back and committed a new offense.
Correct, Your Honor.
And I understand driving without a license or with an invalid license. I understand we're not in felony territory.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty and find 13 true. The court is going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and there's to be no re-entry into the United States. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You do have a limited right to appeal. If that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on deferred adjudication. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Do not come back unless you're back legally. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, we just ask that you follow the plea bargain.
All right, how old are you?
19, ma'am.
All right, why are you riding in stolen vehicles?
Just hanging around the wrong crowd, to be honest.
No, you are the wrong crowd. That's what other people would say. The co-defendant or the other suspect who's with you, Sandoval, his family would tell me he's hanging around with the wrong crowd, and that would be you. So what are you doing with your life?
To be honest, I'm just trying to
finish school and get a job and just do good.
How are you just trying to finish school? What are you doing?
Well, right now I'm looking for like schools to be able to get my GED and my high school diploma.
You can find that anywhere on the computer. If you can drive around in a car that doesn't belong to you, I'm sure you can go on the computer. Do you have a phone,
Yes, ma'am.
a cell phone?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure there is Google or whatever on that cell phone. You can Google, there's places throughout San Antonio where you can get your GED. Why didn't you finish school?
And I was in juvenile, didn't get a chance to finish it.
All right, do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's a good thing. You need to get your life in order. You understand?
Yes,
Who do you
ma'am.
live with?
My mom.
All right. This is what the court will do. There is a $500 fine that will be probated. Court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Clean.
All right, when's the last time you used?
Months, since like six months.
And using what?
Marijuana.
All right, there's going to be regular random UAs. And make sure he's tested for levels if he comes out positive. If he is positive, what we're going to do is there's going to be the UA hotline if he's positive. And he's going to stay on that UA hotline until he presents with a negative UA. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
I was just wondering about my GPS monitor. The hours, it's been kind of like interfering with me getting a job because I already had like 2 job interviews, but the hours that I got for my curfew, like my officer said he wasn't able to do nothing about it. So
All right, we'll extend his curfew on GPS. So his curfew, he's allowed out of the house from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Fridays. And then Saturday and Sunday, he's to be at home unless he's employed or at school. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, you're young. Let me just tell you something. If you want things, go out, get a job so you can afford things. But at the end of the day, when all of us die, guess what? Your things cannot go with you. Although I've heard of people being buried with their car, which I don't know why you would do that because it costs extra, I'm assuming, to have a car for you to be buried in. But I'm sure if you're driving around in vehicles that don't belong to you, you're not necessarily attached to it. We should not be attached to things anyway. You understand? All right, good luck to you. You're welcome. Did you understand you're charged with cruelty to non-livestock? That's a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding you guilty as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so how old was Shadow?
Still a little over a year.
So he's a year, which is that still considered a puppy?
In age, I may assume he was still grown. He was pretty grown, but in age, I assume he was a puppy.
All right, so he's a puppy. So what were you saying to your puppy before you threw him in a fence with other dogs to be killed by them?
Nothing. At the time of the moment of what I did, I was under the influence of a lot of drugs at the time, and I wasn't in the right mindset. And
No, it says here, a male pedestrian walking his dog, that's you, began yelling at it and then tossed it over the fence.
I can't remember a lot of that time.
Mhm.
I know what I did, and I can't remember some of the moments in between leading up to it and after it.
So what do you remember? So you throw your 1-year-old dog over the fence with other canines. And then what? You just stood there?
No, I ran, but I do remember the noises the dog made, and
Why did you run after you threw the canine over, well, Shadow over the fence?
there was nothing I could do after that. What I did was done.
Because of what?
There was nothing I could do after that. What I did was done. I just made the choice, the horrible choice to do that. And what I did was done, so I just ran and had to listen to her whine and yelp.
I'm sorry, what?
I just ran and I had to listen to her whine and yelp all the way back to my house.
Yeah, because, so you knew there were other dogs in that, behind that fence?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because it says here that you told the police you didn't know there were other dogs, but it appears that you purposely walked the dog to that address.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any children?
Oh, man.
Have you had employment?
Yes, ma'am. I was working as a helper with this man. They were giving me a lot of construction work to help him do a lot of things.
And who were you living with?
I was living with just by myself most of the time and my girlfriend.
All right, you really shouldn't have a girlfriend. I can't force you not to have a girlfriend, but there are other issues that you probably need to be working on. Does your girlfriend have children?
I'm not
So who was living in the house with you and your girlfriend?
seeing Shadow, another dog,
And what?
and another dog.
Okay, Shadow, and what's the other dog's name?
Yes, yeah.
Nessa?
Yes, yes.
Nessia? All right. So why didn't you take Nessia on this walk with you?
I don't know. Like I said, I was under the influence of a lot of different drugs, and I wasn't mentally competent at the time that whole day.
And what type of dog is Nessa?
It was,
Nessia.
it was a pit bull.
All right, so you have a pit bull and Shadow was staff.
It was that.
Yes.
It was a pit lab, I believe.
All right. And how did you come to be the owner of Shadow?
I bought him off of a neighbor.
Everybody's just selling their dogs to anybody without checking anything. Had Shadow had any shots?
Not that I know of.
No. Have you ever had any mental health issues?
It's not,
What?
bipolar, depression, anxiety, ADHD, some manic disorders. Because
Have you ever been on any medications?
it's not.
What medications?
Right now, I'm taking the Prexa. I just recently got on it last week. I was supposed to be on Lexapro, but for some reason, they're not giving it to me. And Abilify. And throughout my lifetime, I've been on a lot of different medications.
And how far did you go in school?
Up to ninth grade, I couldn't get back into school because of CPS and all that, and just homelessness just bouncing around.
All right. And how old are you?
20.
All right. And what's with all the tattoos on the face? What's that about?
Oh, when I was 16, I was really bad on drugs at the time, and I was just in a motel room, really, really high, and my dad left the tattoo gun and ink, and I tied myself up, my face and my arms, and I've been trying to get it. I went to get it removed once, and I'm planning to go again to get it completely removed on my face and on my hands and arms.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else I should know about you?
Just what I did with that dog. I don't want to sound full of it, but it hurts me a lot when I think about it. I try to shake the thoughts of what I did. Regardless of what I did, I actually cared a lot about that animal. I love that dog. Hearing the sounds it made, it's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. When I think about the time I used to play with it, it's gonna hurt my soul. It's gonna hurt me deep down in my heart that I did a horrible act that can't come back. Just gotta take it up with God from here on forth with that.
All right. This is what court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. There's to be a mouth evaluation. You ever been to prison or TYC, what they used to call TYC?
No, man.
All right. Have you had any contact with your mom or your father in recent years?
My mom and my dad are in here.
I'm sorry?
My mom and my dad are in here.
You say in jail?
Yeah.
All right. So probation, is there any type of trauma therapy for him? I know it seems as though I'm giving you a lot of programs to complete, but you need a lot.
I want to.
Okay. So we could set up some type of, I know that I'm asking for the mental health evaluation, but he's also probably going to need some sort of trauma therapy. He's probably going to need a counselor for the CPS issues that brought him into the government sphere. Also the trauma issues in regards to Shadow. The fact that his parents are at the Bexar County Jail while he's at the Bexar County Jail. Do you have any siblings? Sisters and brothers?
I do, but my dad was real violent with his baby mama, so she doesn't allow me to see his kids, so I haven't seen my sister and my brothers.
All right. So we have that to deal with as well. Anything else you need from the court?
I know.
Is there a way I could through a program or some way get into Haven for Hope or Oxford House?
Oh, they're going to see if they can place you somewhere. What's going to end up happening is you're going to be evaluated for felony drug court. If felony drug court accepts you, then felony drug court will speak to you about housing and everything. All right. Go off the record. Here's the thing. I know there's a lot of programs I just dumped on you, but you need a lot of help, right? So do not get overwhelmed by the programs. Just work the programs mentally, internally, so you can improve. Do you understand? Do not just throw your hands up. Do not disappear, because what you're looking at, if a motion to revoke were filed, is 10 years in the prison. Now, if there's an issue, let your officer know. If you feel as though you're not able to get in touch with your officer, or you still are not receiving the answers, you can always come back to the court and you can talk to me. You understand?
Sorry.
All right, good luck to you.
One more last thing. I don't have a birth certificate. I don't have a social ID. I've never had an ID. So is there any way probation can help me get all that so I could be?
Well, let me ask you this. I used to do child protective services cases. Did you age out of the child protective services system? By that, I mean, did your parents ever retain custody of you?
No,
All right, were you ever adopted?
yes, when I was younger, yes.
All right, so when you were adopted, that person should have your birth certificate and all of that information. If they don't want to give it to you, or if they're saying they don't have it, the people who should have it is your child protective services worker. And counsel, if you go next door to CPS court, the one with the green rooftop on the second floor, they will be able to direct you the easiest way to get your birth certificate, your social security card. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Casanova, you want to come forward? Yes. Hello, how's it going?
Could be better.
All right, so my understanding, you want to represent yourself? All right, you're more than welcome to represent yourself, but here's the thing. Everybody says that they can be an attorney because all attorneys do is talk. That's what people think. But they don't realize there's a lot of knowledge, experience, and wisdom behind that.
Absolutely.
So if you want to have a jury trial where you represent yourself, you're more than welcome to do so. But once it's set for trial, it's going to trial, and no one's going to be helping you. The state is not going to say, hey, we see that you really don't know the rules, so let me tell you this rule. They're not going to be doing that. My job is not going to be to help you with objections, help you with motions. That's 100% you. Do you understand?
I do. And are we on the record?
No, we're not on the record. What, you want to put something on the record?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Sure. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 2974, State of Texas Vector versus Hector Casanova. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? And are you Hector Casanova?
No, for the record, I am the flesh and breathing man. I'm here on a special appearance. to clarify any misunderstanding. I am not the legal fiction known as Hector J. Casanova that is on the information there. I just have a few questions to clarify some things.
All right, so if you would like to clarify some things, then the person I need to speak to is the flesh and blood man known as Hector Casanova.
Yes, I'm the flesh and blood man, Hector Casanova Jr.
All right,
All
so
right.
you are Hector Casanova, correct?
I am Hector Casanova Jr., the flesh and breathing man.
All right, well, I'm glad you're breathing. So what did you want to place on the record?
Well, first, I don't understand the charges that are being brought against me.
Mhm.
There are some clarifications I do want to.
All right, so
also-
just 1 second, but before we get to that, have you been given a copy of the indictment?
No, I have not.
All right, so we're gonna get you a copy of the indictment. Just give me a moment. All right, have a seat. We're gonna come back on the record with this.
All right.
Deputy Laura, do you know, if he's been served with the indictment yet?
I'm not sure.
All right, thank you. So we're back on the record in 2024 CR 2974. State versus Hector Casanova. All right, Mr. Casanova, here's the thing. And I want you to hear me clearly, right? I am not your attorney. The document that has been given you is a copy of the indictment. I'm not to give you information about your indictment. That's the indictment. That's what we're here for. So any questions that you would have about that indictment, you're going to have to answer those for yourself. Otherwise, the person who will be telling you about what the indictment means and what the numbers are, that will be an attorney. Do you understand?
I do not understand.
Oh, what that means is, for example, we can go off the record. I'm giving you a hypothetical. All right. Let's say you needed surgery and you're in the middle of the wilderness, you need surgery, and you tell me and you tell the doctor, guess what? I'm performing this surgery on my own. I don't need you. I'm walking out of the hospital. I'm going to go in the desert. Now, maybe the doctor would try to stop you and do other things. But if you go in that desert by yourself, don't tell the doctor where you are. You take a scalpel out in the desert by yourself. You don't get to call the doctor and say, hey, I'm in the middle of the desert performing surgery. I'm going to be my own anesthesiologist. I'm doing all of this. How do you do this? Because they're not going to tell you. It's the same thing here. You're saying that you do not want to be represented by an attorney. You want to represent yourself. So that motion, that indictment, I'm not to tell you anything about what that indictment is. The state is not to tell you, oh, this is what this indictment means. This is the range of punishment. Those are things that you're supposed to do. Do you understand?
I still don't understand.
All right. So just have a seat. This is what's going to end up happening. You're going to have an attorney. That attorney is going to come over to the court right now. You're going to speak to that attorney. After you speak to that attorney, we're going to go forward. Ms. Ferguson, can you call manage to sign counsel and let them know that we need an attorney over here? And that attorney will talk to you. That attorney will tell you what that indictment means. That attorney will tell you the range of punishment. Do you understand?
I still don't understand.
All right. Well, I don't know how I can further make you understand.
Are we on the record?
All right, Norma, get someone from manage to sign counsel here, please. All right, just have a seat and we're going to have an attorney come down. All right.
I would like to ask some questions on the record, if I may, while I have your time here.
Oh, no, let me just tell you, you'll have my time till 5 o'clock because that's how long we're here. What is going to end up happening is an attorney from manage to sign counsel is going to come down. Do you understand?
I do not understand because I don't feel like I am needing an attorney because I'm here to represent myself as the flesh and breathing man, Hector Casanova Jr. Let's see. All right, so let record of the court show that I, Hector Casanova
Just 1
Jr.
second.
The
we're,
accused
just
in
one
the
stop.
Sorry.
All right, we're on the record. So what did you want the record to reflect?
So let the record of the court show that I, Hector Casanova Jr., the accused in this criminal action, has asked the court to divulge the nature and cause of the accusation upon the authority of the Sixth Amendment, and that this court has failed in its duty to inform me of the nature and cause of this action.
All right, and
Furthermore,
let me
let the
stop you.
record also show.
Mr. Casanova, let me ask you a question. Have you been given a copy of the indictment?
I believe so, yeah.
All right, so let the record reflect that Mr. Casanova has been given the copy of the indictment, and the copy of the indictment, it tells him what he is charged with. You may continue.
Now, these charges, are they, civil? Is this a civil charge or a criminal charge?
All right, that is something that if you had an attorney to represent you, they would be able to tell you. What the court can tell you is that you are in a felony court and this is a criminal court.
Okay. So, this being a criminal, let the record of the court show that the action against me is criminal action. My following question would be, the Constitution grants this court two types of criminal jurisdiction. Criminal jurisdiction under the common law and criminal jurisdiction under the admiralty or military tribunal. In which of these two jurisdictions does this court intend to try me?
All right, so this is what is going to happen, Mr. Casanova. Someone from Managed Assigned Counsel is going to come over and you can speak with them or not speak with them. But the questions that you are asking the court are not, some of them are not in any shape, form, or fashion related to the fact that you're in a criminal district court. Do you understand?
I do not understand.
Okay.
But I don't think you'll be violating your oath of office if you did your duty under the Constitution. I am not seeking legal advice. What I want to know is legal intent.
Mhm.
I have the right to appear as myself in my own person without a licensed attorney. In order to intelligently defend myself, I need to know the jurisdiction this court is operating under.
Mhm.
Let's see. So therefore, will you please answer the question so that way this court is properly identified?
All right, you're in the 187 District Court. It's a criminal court. You're on the 4th floor.
Thank you. This Constitution grants this court two types of criminal jurisdiction. Criminal jurisdiction under the common law and criminal jurisdiction under
All right, I'm going
admiralty or military
to counsel.
tribunal.
I'm sorry, Mr. Casanova, in the human flesh. I'm going to stop you right there. What is going to end up happening, I want you to hear me clearly. An attorney is coming over for Managed Assigned Counsel, period. That's it. So have a seat. Managed Assigned Counsel will come over. Do you understand? Yes or no?
I do not understand.
All right. Do you understand what it means to take a seat?
I do understand.
All right. So take a seat. Thank you. Yes.
We have talked.
Mhm.
I've informed him that I'm here, to help him in whatever he needs help with.
Mhm.
He's gonna consider what help he thinks he might need from me, and I know he wants to put something on the record.
Okay. All right. And so you'll be appointed as standby
Yes.
counsel then?
I've kind of explained my role and what that means and how I can help him with something as simple as e-filing or that type of thing. So
All right. We're going to go back on the record in 2024 CR 2974, State versus Hector Casanova. Mr. Casanova, if you'll come forward. Yes. All right. So Mr. Casanova, Mr. Bonk is going to be your standby counsel. And that's someone that if you have questions, you can ask him legal questions or what you may have.
Thank you for your consideration.
All right.
Uh,
And he informed me you wanted to place something on the record?
Yes, for the record, I wanted to make it known that I'm here on special appearance under threat, duress, and coercion.
All right. Who threatened or coerced you to come to court?
The county of Bear, Texas.
How
State.
so?
Well, if I don't come here, then warrants will be placed, which I will be kidnapped and held hostage, and I do not want that. So that's why I'm here under special appearance to clarify any misunderstandings and to let it be known where I stand on the record.
Okay. Is there anything else?
I said everything that needed to be said.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to recall your case in 1 month. It's going to be a discovery setting. So that's to make sure that you have all the information that the state has concerning your case. Do you understand?
I do understand.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if I can have a 30-day reset for Mr. Casanova. And after you receive all the discovery, then the next setting is going to be a plea deadline date. The state will tender an offer to you at the next setting. And then I'll give you your plea deadline date, and you can accept the state's offer, come to an agreement or not. If you're unable to come to an agreement at that time, it'll be scheduled for jury trial.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
I have no further questions.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson is going to give me a date, and then you'll sign it. Mr. Bach will sign it to signify when you're to come back. All right.
I appreciate your time.
All right, you're welcome, and thank you for dressing appropriately for court. What date, Ms. Ferguson? All right, so we'll be back on July 29th. All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. Yes.
If something were to come up and I need to maybe reschedule that date, is that a possible thing to
You'll
come
need-
up ahead of time?
You'll need to speak to the court coordinator, and they will let you know. I will tell you the rescheduling of cases. Are you in the hospital? You're not in the hospital, you need to be here.
Okay,
You understand?
so pretty much no excuse, be here.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think that's our last case for the day. Is that correct? All right, thank you for coming over, Mr. Bach.
Yes, Judge.
All right.